Hey guys, good morning. We're on day 4. Good morning. All right, we'll give it just a minute or two for everybody to find their way in. Feel free to use the chat. Let me know how you're doing today. Get my window set up. Hey Megan, good morning. Okay, that's fine. There's the start of my notes. Looks like we're good. Just give it one more minute. Okay. Looks good. All right. All right. So today we are talking about mindfulness and nervous system regulation. And some of this stuff we've actually already discussed in our previous days. I didn't have my microphone plugged in. You can hear me cool? I just plugged in, so I'm making sure it didn't throw things off. Yeah, just let me know if you cannot hear me, and I'll keep on going. Okay, so yeah, mindfulness and nervous system regulation. We've already kind of discussed some of the tools and practices that will make up part of today. But today we're going to talk a little bit more about understanding that and knowing how we're building on that, how we're helping that. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to explore some tools for calming the nervous system. And I'm going to introduce you to some mindfulness exercises and practices and some understanding. In the past days, if you have been paying attention or if you've just joined us and you were not following along every day, that's cool. That's fine. Go back and listen to those, but you can totally listen today. You don't have to stop and go back. But they do build on each other. We've already talked about building our foundation on caring for our own basic needs, making sure that those are being met. And then we've talked about stepping it up and romanticizing or doing that extra indulgent little, that little extra, adding the cherry on top to your life, to the little things. And then we have also learned yesterday a lot about the powerful shift that happens when gratitude becomes our automated response. And you will see today how a lot of these things, they play into regulating the nervous system, actually. So let's talk a little bit mindfulness. By definition, by Google, just a quick search has found the easiest way to put it is that mindfulness is a state of being completely focused on the present moment without dwelling on or reacting to your thoughts. All right, so mindfulness, so often we get into a habit of constantly having, we're constantly either pulled to the past or to the future, right? Like anxiety is all worried about the future. And they say that depression is being, concerned about the past. So a lot of our emotions and a lot of our negative thoughts, we're building our current expectation past experiences, or we're building our current situation and like our current feelings on fears of the future, stress about what could possibly go wrong. And all of that is pulling you away from the mindfulness of being in the present. Okay, so being in the present is very much letting go of stress for the future and guilt for the past or shame for the past or anything like that. So the benefits of practicing mindfulness and being in a state of mindfulness is that it can help you manage your thoughts, feelings, and mental health. Don't we all need that? It can also reduce stress, pain, and fatigue and improve your quality of life. And that's what we're really here for, right? Managing that stress, reducing that stress, and improving our quality of life, getting up to that next level, being our best possible selves now in the present. Okay, so ways that you can practice this just simply include focusing on your breath, noticing what you're sensing in a given moment, such as sights, sounds, and smells. So kind of just, noticing everything that's around you with multiple senses, right? Recognizing that your thoughts and emotions are fleeting. Sometimes your thoughts are not even your thoughts. They are thoughts that someone else has put there. They are subliminal messaging. They are, just programming and things that you've heard over and over from music and media and just people, passerbyers, So sometimes those thoughts aren't even yours, and your emotions are built on the thoughts that you have. So sometimes the feelings you have aren't even yours, especially if you are, someone who's like a highly sensitive person, or you're very empathetic to those around you. Some of us are very affected by the energies and emotions of other people in the room. So sometimes you might be feeling pretty crappy, and it's because someone else has allowed themselves to feel crappy. We don't have to absorb that emotion. So recognizing that it's not even yours and that it will not last forever can be very beneficial in practicing this. Tuning into your body's physical sensations. There's this thing called like a body scan you can do, where you really just pay attention to everything in your body and you picture like kind of being scanned from the top to the bottom. And you just really sit with yourself and you quietly think like, okay, how am I feeling here? How am I feeling here? Do I need to relax my jaw? Am I clenching? And just kind of relax every muscle going down and pay attention. Like, where are things stuck? Where are things going wrong? And then you can address a lot of problems from there, honestly. A lot of your emotions get stuck in your physical body. But you can also be finding micro moments of mindfulness throughout your day. We kind of talked about that a little bit with like romanticizing your day, finding little moments of just peace and appreciation. Practicing yoga while attending to practicing yoga asanas while attending to movements and body sensations. I'm not super familiar with exactly what that means, but absolutely, yoga can be very helpful in practicing mindfulness. And it's not just like the stretching piece of it, it's the meditative kind of piece of it. And walking meditations is the last thing that's listed here. That was a Google list, by the way. I didn't make that. And then if we want to talk about nervous system a little bit. So nervous system regulation is the ability to balance the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems to respond to stressors while still being able to relax. And this might sound a little bit familiar, sort of like what we've talked about with getting into gratitude. That was one way of regulating the nervous system, being able to show up as peace in the chaos. So when the nervous system is regulated, it's possible to adapt to stressful situations, avoid becoming overwhelmed, and recover once the stress is passed. Don't we need that? This feels like it's like, I don't know, an anthem of motherhood, like big, just a big flag of like, you need this right here. Nervous system regulation. So when the nervous system is dysregulated, the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems are out of balance. Okay. And one way to view this, like, I don't fully even understand right now sympathetic versus parasympathetic. Like, I didn't even look into that to remember what all those mean. But I do remember that parasympathetic, that nervous system, like, has to do a lot with being at peace. Okay. So I think this is like stress versus peace. Those pieces of you, like your stress reaction and your peaceful state. But anyways, so this can make it difficult to problem solve, make rational decisions, and interact positively with others. Like, are you thinking about how this connects with your everyday life? How a regulated nervous system makes you the mom that you really want to be? So signs of a dysregulated nervous system include constant anxiety or worry, difficulty concentrating, difficulty sleeping, digestive issues, feeling overwhelmed or burnt out, and frequent headaches or body pains. So who feels like maybe they have a dysregulated nervous system? Maybe that's really what's wrong. So many of us start yelling at our kids and we get short fused and we let things around the house start falling apart. We're not keeping up on things. And then we slap this label on us of, oh no, I'm a bad mom. Oh no, I'm a bad wife. Oh no, I can't do this. Oh no, I'm not enough. But it's a dysregulated nervous system. Easy. You can detach your worth from that. You don't have to say, you don't have to feel like I'm not enough just because you have a dysregulated nervous system. This is a super normal thing that happens to everybody at some point. And I think it happens to some people a lot more often than others. Moms, particularly, like we have so much in our days that are constantly disrupting our nervous system. So if we take ownership of our own nervous system and we say, hey, I understand, I don't have to feel worse. Like I don't have to feel bad about myself just because I'm dysregulated. That's normal. That's fine. That happens. We don't have to feel bad about it. We don't have to feel guilt. We don't have to feel shame. We recognize it. We apply our practices and we keep moving forward. And we allow ourselves to feel good and to feel happy and peace and joy the whole time, right? Okay, so some practices that may help regulate the nervous system. This is straight from Google, and you'll recognize some of these. Deep breathing, moderate movement, getting enough sleep, spending time in nature, and eating a diet rich in vitamins, minerals, and omega-3 fatty acids. Okay, so a lot of these things we've kind of actually already talked about. And a lot of these things I have extra tools for in the free resources tab that you've all got access to here in the Bloom Room. Like I know I haven't mentioned about eating really rich vitamins, minerals, and omega-3 fatty acids, but you know what? There is a mental health meal plan. It's just, I think it's like a one sheet that's in the free resources. And it was something I put together for myself when I was really trying to overcome depression and anxiety. And I was looking into, okay, what kind of foods fight it? How can I fight it with something I'm already doing? And I found that like avocados and salmon and all of these things are really good for giving your body what it needs to fight that, to avoid it, and to put you in a better like mental state and take care of your body at the same time. So it was kind of a no-brainer. And I created a few like meal options and ideas that really incorporated a lot of those things. So check that out. And if that's foods you like to eat, prioritize eating them, you know, because a diet, eating a non-depression diet's not going to help if you hate all the food on it. It's just going to make you feel worse. Create eating disorder on top of everything. We don't need that. But definitely that's something to look into, right? But did you notice how a lot of those are your basic needs? Let's see, deep breathing, that's your need for air. We talked about that. Moderate movement, I don't think we talked about that. Getting enough sleep, yes, we talked about sleep being a basic need. Spending time in nature, and then eating diet rich in vitamins, minerals, and omega-3 fatty acids. That's food, right? So some of your basic needs are already right there. And taking care of some of your basic needs is going to regulate your nervous system. It's nice how that works, huh? So here's how kind of this cycle works. And I'll try to upload an image because I know I have one. I've shared it before in the membership. We did a whole masterclass on this, I think, in the membership. It might even be masterclass number 1. So if you get in there, go check that out. That is the best place to start, the introduction to everything. But so the way this cycle kind of works is think, feel, do, be. But it is a cycle, right? Because I think a lot of us have heard the like think, do, be, or whatever, but it's think, feel, do, and be. And how you be leads back to how you think. All right. So your thoughts communicate to communicate to you. Can I communicate? Your thoughts communicate to you with emotions. And your emotions influence your actions, which become the habits that make up your character. And your character is how you be, which then influences your thoughts, right? So stress likes to hide in all the corners of this cycle. A dysregulated nervous system can kind of start to fall apart in any of these spots, all right? But joy can also shine through if we let it. All right, so it's our job here today is to disrupt that cycle and to use the tools that we need in order to strengthen where things kind of feel like they're falling apart and to stay the course, you know? So the bottom line here is that you cannot be the wife and mother, the level-headed, confident, and radiant woman that you're meant to be if you're living in a state of constant stress. And a regulated nervous system is the remedy to that. And there are many ways to regulate the nervous system, namely taking care of basic needs and enjoying those basic needs. So you'll continue. That's the romanticizing part, right? So you'll continue to build on those basic needs and to care for those basic needs. And then we're also going to practice gratitude along the way, because that is mindfulness, and that is avoiding thinking about nothing but stress, right? Because if we're only looking for the stressful situations, that's all we're going to find. Your mind is like a magnet. It's going to show you what you're looking for. Okay. So if you're looking for things to be grateful for, you're going to keep finding those. And if you're going to look for things to be stressed about, you're going to keep finding those. Your brain always wants to be right. Your brain will look for reasons to prove you right. We have to change what we're looking for with our brain. We have to change what we're thinking of. We have to change what we're believing, which will change what we're feeling and what we're doing and how we're being, which will then make thinking better thoughts easier. Okay. So I want you, as your action task today, is to determine where you get off-centered and get started on the inner work and the habit building exercises that you feel will have the greatest impact on your daily life without overextending your energy. All right. Because we don't want to add a new thing that's going to stress you out as your remedy for stress. Right. All right. So go ahead and post your takeaways from today in the group thread once that's up. And again, I have the VIP option, which starts at 10:30 today. And we can go ahead and further some chats about this. We can talk about specific tools and resources that are already at your disposal. And if you are not joining in the membership, and you want to know some of those other tools and things, you can always message me and I will point you to what's in the free resource library, because that free resource library really does have a lot in it. The stress less toolkit, for one thing, would really be beneficial for digging further into the nervous system regulation. You've also got the mindset makeover, which will help you dig deeper into your thoughts. I think I gave you guys a thought inventory tracker as well. There's a lot of the mental health meal plan is in there, and all kinds of really great stuff that will definitely be beneficial in taking this stuff to the next level, to the next farther. So determining where you get off-centered and choosing a task to focus on to regulate your nervous system, you might have already chosen that, being that we've already talked about so many of these things on the past 3 days. So if you've already built on that action task, you've already chosen something that falls under this umbrella, you may want to dig into some of those extra resources today with the time you've allotted to do your homework. But otherwise, I am so happy that you guys have been here, and I will see the VIP members in about 10 minutes. And the rest of you, I'll see you again tomorrow.